is once we start looking at a spot, maybe it's got the vibe, it's got the right surrounding businesses, it's got a little bit of everything that we're looking for. Well, now we really need to make sure that the demographics, the numbers line up. So, I mean, there's some websites you can go to. The one we typically go to is LoopNet, and I've got that pulled up here. You can find a commercial prospectus, and it's got an executive summary on the area. It's got a property description. It's got financial analysis. Yeah. It's got a market overview. So not only do you maybe see some of these things as you do your drive-by and you do your reconnaissance work, but it's also going to carve out, here are all the spaces that may be open in a given location. And honestly, right now, depending on what market you're in, there might be a lot of commercial real estate spaces open. So you want to understand how close to capacity are they right now? Or are you going to be on your own and not have the traffic that you're looking for, depending on, I guess, what the state is of any current commercial build out that customers have? And then the second piece is with that analysis of the market overview and financial analysis, it's telling you exactly what is the demographic of people that are within a certain radius, a 1 mile radius, a 2 mile radius, depending on which report they're putting out. That's a lot of valuable information, because if you're saying, well, I want this type of salon, in our case, we want a extension salon. We're going to use top of the line everything. We've got luxury retail products. We have to make sure that we're not building that salon on a college campus or building that salon too far out in the country where nobody's going to find us. I mean, those things seem obvious, but when you're really getting down into the details of that, that really is important, because you could pick any community even within a mile of here, and every city is diverse in how, where are they, is there housing, is there apartments, is there townhomes, what type of clientele are you able to attract? So I like getting the numbers that kind of backs up the vibe that we have in a spot that we want to pick.
No, it's really important. I mean, salon number 3, we did this, but there was just different factors that we didn't realize. I mean, it was still a high-end area. We still had a high-end shopping center, but there was other things that we looked at. You know, we got there and we're like, oh.
Yep. No, and again, once you have the numbers, somebody's done, you know, you don't have to go just off of a feeling. You've actually got something to back it up. So definitely check out the commercial real estate sites. You're going to have to do it anyway as you're getting ready to look at leases and things like that. But that allows you to see if you're even choosing a location that in the surrounding areas, you're going to have the right people to support the type of business you're putting in. And that kind of brings us to the 5th piece, which is competitive analysis. And again, it's looking at businesses that may be doing similar things. I don't go looking at other salons saying, all right, who's our competitors? It's not like that. There's typically plenty of people to go around for businesses. But when you start doing a competitive analysis, we don't want to be in the same parking lot. Maybe we don't want to be setting up a brand new salon that's right next to the premier salon in the entire area that does capture a lot of the business at this point in time. So talk a little bit about the way you view competitive versus, you know, how maybe other businesses legitimately are going from a competitive perspective.
Yeah, competition is actually a good thing. So I don't mind competitors unless it's exactly the same thing as what you're doing. Typically, it's not. That the odds are very slim that it would be, but competition doesn't scare me at all. I mean, they're doing it, so then you know that the area, you know, is supporting it, and they might be there longer, so they might be tapped out already anyway. But sometimes they're doing services that you're not going to offer anyway.
Right.
You know, we talk about specializing in services. You know, if I didn't do blowouts here, a blowout bar, that would be a great addition. So, you know, my clients would be already coming here getting a blowout. So then they're like, oh, I'm going to get my extensions done there now, and I'm going to go get my blowouts. So it just, a lot of times it makes sense. The competition is not a thing for us. I mean, it never bothered us. We never really focused on that, but it's something to consider for sure.
Right. Well, and I think, again, the word competition, I think, is wrong. If a client isn't a good fit for the business that we're building and the experience we're creating, then they go somewhere else. I think it's always you need to build a win-win situation for your business, and you can't try to please every client that wants every type of service, which is why we've started specializing. So that's why I think, yeah, it's great. Go to the blowout bar, because that's what they do. They just, you know, plow blowout services one after another, or go to the place that does men's cuts or whatever.
Right,
you
go to the barber.
Right, yeah. Exactly. So I think we look at it as almost more complementary than competitive, because we're going to do what we do and try to be the best in the area at what we do, and we assume that the other salons are doing something similar, and the clientele will find where they need to be. And if they're not happy at the other one, it's not good for your business either, or the existing salon. So I think those are always things that we need to take a look at, and again, not get too concerned if there's another salon within a mile or a half mile radius. There's probably 3 or 4 in most bigger markets. There's going to be quite a few salons.
Yeah, and I mean, it kind of makes you up your game too when there's somebody with a similar business, and so hopefully it holds you accountable, whether it's the salon that has been there or the new one coming in. I mean, if a new salon came in by me and I was in business for a while, I'd be like, okay, what are they? Oh, they're doing that. Their sign looks great. Maybe it's time for a new sign. So I think it holds you accountable, making you up your game, because a lot of businesses just stay dated.
Right.
So I think it's a good thing.
Yeah, for
sure.
everybody, for the clientele, they might increase, make for a better experience as well. So yeah, I think everybody wins when there's a little bit of complementary.
Healthy competition is good. Yes.
Cool. Well, again, the 5 main factors we looked at today: the surrounding businesses we talked about, and that even surrounding businesses would be looking at other salons in the area that may do similar or different types of services. Looking at the traffic, visibility, and parking. That's a really important one. The commute, we talked about, you don't want planes, trains, and automobiles to your salon if you want to do that sustainable. I mean, some people I know maybe have multiple locations or things like that. That's a whole new ballgame. Then you're just starting a salon, and you want to put your best foot forward, take that commute into consideration.
That's short term.
Right.
That's really short term.
Yep. Commercial analysis, I can't stress that enough. Get some numbers that actually back up the vibe that you have or the excitement that you have, and then all of a sudden you can see, hey, this market actually isn't going to support the price point that I feel like I'm worth. So this is not the spot for us. And unfortunately, then you got to take into consideration the commute and the location and the commercial analysis, because maybe all that stuff maybe you're not living close enough to the place that you aspire to have your salon. So you got to put a plan together to do that. I mean, we've been in that situation where we knew where the salon needed to go, but we weren't living there yet. So it's like, all right, well, now we need to make a plan to be there so that we can do this business the right way, because once you commit to it, the upside is massive, but you need to make the right decisions and trade-off decisions to make sure that you launch it and do exactly what we're doing. Scale very quickly, go from 0 clients, 0 employees, all the way up to an incredibly profitable salon in less than a year. That's the only way we hold each other accountable for whether we had success or not.
Yeah, and I've always said, because we've always built really successful salons, I'm like, every time we've moved or we've changed locations, if I could pick up this salon and put it in a different state when we go, I would.
Yeah.
So yes, but I couldn't, obviously. So here we are rebuilding the salons. But so make sure you're close.
Right.
Because you can't do that. You can't move them.
No, they don't let you pick them up, put them on the back of a flatbed.
I would have, yeah.
They make you keep them.
I would have tried, yeah.
Well, awesome. Well, again, I think a good thing to consider related to your location. If you like what we're talking about here on the Salontrepreneur podcast, make sure and check us out online. We'll see you all soon.
See you soon.